Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla. If you're new here, hello and welcome. Oh, and this is Ocean. Hi! She's my project manager and my QC. Say hi. 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 Hi to the people that's gonna help me sustain your lavish lifestyle. Hi. Anyway, so Valentine's Day is fast approaching, so today we're gonna make a dress for, you know, that day, and we're actually naming this dress after 5 because, you know, pick me up after 5. Anyway, jokes aside, so the dress is actually gonna be a cowl neck with some pleats, and it is gonna be made out of knit fabric. So I'm pretty excited. So what we're gonna need for this project is knit. This is actually a 4-way stretch. You should be okay with 2-way, but you'll definitely want something that has a good drape because, you know, we got that cowl neck going on the dress. And then we're also gonna need a loop turner for the spaghetti string, some chalk. You don't need this much elastic, a clear elastic, but you're gonna need about 3.5 to 4 yards. And since we are working with knit, your home sewing machine should work just fine as long as you're gonna zigzag stitch the seams. However, if you have a 4-thread overlock, so if you do, you're gonna need 4 spools of thread, which is perfect for stretchy fabrics and stuff. So let's start. Let's go. Why am I so awkward? First things first, let's go ahead and print out the pattern. Make sure that we are only printing the first page and that the paper size is set to A4 and it is scaled to 100%. And then we can proceed by measuring the scale box. Make sure that is 2 inches by 2 inches. And then we can go ahead and print out the rest of the patterns. So the pattern should come with border lines, which you can cut out if you want or fold, which should make putting the pattern pages together so much easier. Once you put the pattern scheme together, you should be able to cut the size that you want. And as you can see, I am cutting the size small, and once we're done with that, we can go ahead and cut the fabric. Now the fun begins. We start sewing, yay. So we'll start with pattern A, which is also our spaghetti strings. We'll start by folding each one in half lengthwise, right side together. And depending if you have a home sewing machine or an overlock machine, we can go ahead and zigzag stitch them or overlock stitch them 1/4 inch from the raw edge. We are then going to flip them right side out using a loop turner. Now on to pattern B, which is our bodice. What we're gonna do is fold it right sides together first. And then what I'm doing here is just marking the fold line. And then unfold it back, just so I know where the fold is exactly, because we are gonna be placing the spaghetti strings either above the line or below the line. Just make sure that you're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. And then we're gonna make sure that the strings are not gonna get in the way, so we're gonna put them in the middle, fold it back again, right sides together, and this is where we're gonna play with the clear elastic. So as you know, clear elastic is not as stretchy as normal elastic. So normally we use this to stabilize seams, neck bands, armholes, which is basically what we're doing this time. We're just gonna be pinning it along the edge, so when we overlock it, it gets sandwiched in between. So that way, the seams that go underneath the arms are more stable. Being that this is a halter top, we want that to stick closer to the body and not curl. Quick tip when doing this, by the way, try not to pull the elastic too hard. Again, we're just stabilizing the seam. We're not necessarily wanting it to curl or gather. We're just stabilizing it. So a little bit of tension is good, but not too much. So remember where we placed our spaghetti straps right along the fold line of the bodice? We're gonna go ahead and tack both edges to secure our straps. Again, this is a halter dress, so those 2 points where the straps are attached to the bodice get a lot of tension, so we're gonna wanna secure those. And then we press. Make sure you press the bodice, the edges. Not too hot though, because we don't want the elastic to melt. Make sure you're also pressing the spaghetti strings. We can now overlock the front opening of our left front skirt, which is our pattern C. If you don't have an overlock machine, you can also leave this raw. And then do the same to the right front skirt opening. Now we're going to individually finish both the opening edges of the left and right skirts by doing a single fold hem and inserting the clear elastic in between that. Again, the same thing as the top. We are not stretching this out, as in we are not pulling at all. We're basically just stabilizing the opening for both of the skirts so they don't curl. Also, since this is a knit dress, we don't usually use a single needle for this. Usually we do overlock machine or zigzag because it stretches, but because this is just the opening and it's just for aesthetic reason, I decided to do a single needle. You of course have the option to zigzag it. I just prefer the single needle. Also, there's nothing wrong with breaking the rules sometimes, you know? We can then press both hems. Make sure that your iron is not too hot that it would melt the clear elastic. Now we can pin the 2 back skirt pieces right sides together and overlock 1/2 inch from the edge. So as you know, the seam allowance is 1/2 inch, and ideally if you have an overlock machine, you should be trimming off about 1/4 inch as you're doing this. I totally forgot to do that. I had to do my adjustments later on, so yes, don't make the same mistake and trim 1/4 inch as you go. Again, seam allowance is 1/2 inch all throughout. And when we're done, you know the drill, we go and press. Now back to our left front skirt where we will be doing our pleats. So for this, we're gonna want to compare our cut piece with our pattern piece, making sure that our notches are transferred and also marked. Side note, while I was doing this, I basically realized that it would be so much easier for you guys and less confusing if I just go ahead and color code the notches, so each size should be assigned to a specific color. However, if you don't have a printer that prints color, you can go ahead and do what I did here, where I just highlighted the notches for my size. I'm also going to apologize in advance for the crappy lighting right here. I'm not sure why that happened. I promise it's the same fabric. Anyway, so we are going to want to mark or extend the notches for these 3 corners, since our skirt will have 3 pleats, and those are basically the 3 pleats that we will be playing with today. So that's pleat number 1, number 2, and number 3. All right, so let's start with pleat number 1. We're gonna go ahead and pinch that and make sure that the edges are all lined up. So you're gonna realize that those notches are gonna basically line up like they should. Go ahead and pin. Then we're gonna go ahead and fold that over up to where those 2 notches kiss the other 2 notches closest to the left of the second pleat. Again, making sure that all the seam allowances are lining up, and pin. Again, just making sure that the first pleat is going to kiss that notch about 1/4 inch away from the second pleat. Now we're moving on to pleat number 2. Again, folding that over, grabbing all the seam allowance and making sure that that pleat matches with the notch closest to the third pleat. And then we're gonna line up all the seam allowance like so, and then pin them in place. Now for the third and final pleat, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna pinch and fold that thing over to where the pleat matches with the last notch at the waist. All the seam allowance should be lining up perfectly at this point, and we just pin away. And voila! Ooh, it looks so good! Okay, now let's base stitch those pleats in place. Again, sorry for the terrible lighting. But that's how it should look like. Now we can start assembling the skirt. Woohoo! I'm excited. With the right sides up, let's go ahead and lay out the 2 front skirts, starting with the right front skirt and then the left front pleated skirt on top of it, and then pin them together along the side seams and the waist. And then we can go ahead and pin the back skirt to the front skirt, right sides together. And for this, we should only be pinning them at the side seams. Now we can overlock the side seams. Now we can flip her right side out so we can attach the bodice to the skirt. We'll start that by pinning them 2 right sides together right at the waist, making sure that the notches are matching up from the center front and the side seams. And once that's done, we can go ahead and pin it all around the waist. So before we overlock or zigzag stitch the waist, let's go ahead and double check the back, making sure that the back bodice is equidistant from the center back seam. It seems like we're good. Now we can go ahead and attach them with the waist. So we will be finishing the waist by doing a single roll and stitching it about 1/4 inch from the edge in between where the bodice ends. When we do this, we're just gonna make sure that
the overlock seam allowance is facing down because we're going to be catching that. And ideally, you're going to want to sew this with a zigzag stitch. However, it's a very small portion of the back, so a single needle should be okay. So for the hem, I actually had to trim mine about 3.5 inches because I totally forgot I'm barely 5 feet tall. But you could do that, otherwise you can proceed and just overlock the hem. And again, if you don't have an overlock machine, you can actually go ahead and leave this raw because we're gonna do a double roll for the hem, so the raw edge is actually gonna get hidden. And you always want to press. And we are done.
Woo! Oh my god. Thank you, Jessica. Oh my god. Oh my god. Somebody from Australia is gonna make my skirt. Oh my god. Oh shit. Somebody from Australia bought our pattern. Oh my god. Say thank you. Yay. Say thank you. Thanks for buying our pattern. Yee. Love from LA to Australia. Thank you. From Indian Ocean.